Welcome, welcome, welcome to something I am calling Qwizical's Endgame lesson. Random endgame lesson even, because it's so random that I don't even know what it's about. Because my video crashed halfway through and I seem to have lost the original 10 minutes of talking. So somehow I need to catch up. But basically this is a game that I had with my mum on Facebook Scrabble, because it's the only kind of Scrabble I play now. And I outfoxed her because I basically time pressured her because I was bored with her not playing her moves, so I just basically pressured her into playing. So we basically mimicked time pressure, and I basically made her screw up. And this situation really, it's really one of the things that I really enjoyed about Scrabble, being able to outfox someone with Endgame. So yeah, basically, look at what my mum's rack is. She has re-nails and a C in there, and it's like, oh dear, my mum has words. She's got bonus words from, what is it, D2 across? Not where that arrow is, where a different arrow is. Let me point to it here. She's got it there. And basically, yeah, I need to block it. And the only way that I can see to block it is to play Nala or Gala. Now I actually did both simulated analyses for these two, and then I hit simulate because I was weird, and then eventually, after what was probably 5,000 iterations at the wrong apply level, it eventually came out at something like 63% for Nala and 59% for Gala, and it was basically like, okay, why is there such a big difference between Nala and Gala? And that will kind of be explained later. And then now I'm going to pretend like my OBS crashed and we will resume where the video says it will resume. Hopefully I remember what I was talking about, because I don't really remember. No, wait, I had some more. Basically, I was saying how my mum could have put like a bonus here, and because she'd probably got the C, that if it was in the middle of the word, I wouldn't be able to access this triple here, and I really need to score some points, so I can't really let her bonus. I actually have to block it. So yeah, and then basically the end game will play out, and you'll see how that happens when I've actually stitched the stuff together. Yeah. Okay, so after returning from that horrific OBS crash, which has never happened to me, I basically forgotten where I am, but yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this J, and I don't have a 4-letter word. There we go, that's where I was. I don't have a 4-letter word with the J in, so if my mum had the C and put the C somewhere here, I wouldn't be able to score enough points to be able to actually, win the game. So I can't really let her bonus, can I? So I actually wonder what championship player will say at this point. I never do championship player on my moves. It says that I've got a 25% win if I do that, or that, or that. Well, why? Like, the S has to be in the bag. Okay, let's ignore it. So I need to try and set up this J. And I think that's why it's saying I basically only win if I draw the S. Because the S is everything on this board, and I'm stuck with an 8-point tile that is just not great. So what do? Well, I've got basically two options. This one, or this one. My mum shouting, what is 4 plus 1? 14, probably. out she meant the channel. But yeah, my two options, I believe, if I try and remove the rest of these. I wish I hadn't done this in the first place. I wonder if there's an easier way to do that. But yeah, I think that I have two options. I have Gala and I have... Oh, maybe I can do this way. Yay! So I feel like I have two options. Gala or Nala. Now, the really weird thing is that Championship Player probably didn't take into account my mum's rack here. So both of them are simulating as around 60%. Now, I don't know how to do simulations, so someone will probably yell at me that I did this wrong. But as you can see, Nala comes out 4 points ahead. Why does Nala come out 4 percentage points ahead? Yeah, it is like 3, 4 points ahead. Valuation. Oh, I haven't analysed a game in so long. Why does it come out 4 points ahead? I think it's because keeping the G kind of might allow you to set up the J if your opponent is a little naive. Sorry, Mum. So I actually play Nala here. I actually play Nala, and I need to actually check what the next move was because this game was so long ago. I actually play Nala, of all things, because I figured, well, you know, the G can be played here at M2, and I've got 2 A's, and if my mum burns an A somewhere else in the next turn, I could play with my J up here. And if she tries to block it, you know, she can't really block it that well without sacrificing points. So, you know, and she might end up getting stuck with the C in return. So it can kind of work both ways. And a 63% win is actually quite something. So what does she do next? So if we commit, her rack is actually that rack. Good going, Quackle, you got it right. Her rack is actually that rack. And I've obviously blocked her bonuses, Lancers and Rance Outs. And she is now like, okay, what do I do? I'm 41 points behind, and my daughter can't play that J at all. So she plays Vac. Wonder what Championship Player says. She's got 100% win if she does Can. Oh, Mum. But no, she does Vac. Because endgames are usually where you just end up losing. Sometimes when you lose games by so many points or so few points, a lot of it can come down to how you're playing those final moves, because you have to take into account how much you know your opponent's rack. And my mum also hadn't left herself an opportunity to go out in one. She's going to need like 3 or 4 attempts at this. So like, I'm staring at this now. She's gotten rid of her A, right? She's gotten rid of her A. And I drew the I, which means that the G that goes here now, I have an unblockable J play, basically, now. Because when my G goes here, she could do what? Gen. She can't block either of these two at M1 or N1. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm having happy days, you know, everything went my way, and that she played the I. She played the A, she got rid of the I, and look, I've got some 100 points. I've got Ged, I've got Al. Oh, I missed Al, but that Al doesn't really do the same thing because she can still block it. So I'm not sure where my other J play is coming from here. I guess Al, I still have another A to do that, so maybe that's why. That one, I don't know. I'm not even going to try to think about it because I did this one and I get like 22 points for that. So yay me. And like this was the whole thing about playing Nala instead of Gala. If I play Gala for 1 extra point, I don't have the G to be able to set up. So you've always got, in the endgames, you always need to think about what your tiles actually do on the board. Because for me, the G did a lot more on the board to benefit me than the N would have. The N doesn't create those opportunities. So you always need to, so when you always rack balance and stuff, you've always got to think not just about how the tiles work together, but how the tiles work on the board. So an S on this board for my mum doesn't work. It's just a 1 point tile at this point. Whereas, you know, a higher scoring tile on this board, maybe an H if there was still one available, you've got this square here of J14. An H is unbelievable. So on its own, it might not do anything, but you need the board as well. So let's go and play our Ged or Jed. So what does Mum do now? Mum is like, well, Mum is like, woo, stop forcing me to play because I was bored at this point. I needed some fun. I needed to whoop her ass at this game, and she was taking forever thinking. Which is another thing. If this was a real game over the board, my mum would have been under time pressure. And all that time pressure, she probably would have still made the same mistakes. Because she likes to think about her moves as much as I do. And I've just realised how rubbish the words on this board look. But yeah, this is how boards look when I play my mum. So judge us. So Mum actually decides to play a word that isn't even suggested. She plays pater. I don't know why. I couldn't even tell you why. She's probably just trying to like sway me into a false sense of security, but now Mum has a 0% win. She can't win at this point. And then I've obviously got my play of, what is it suggesting? What is this? I play Agi. Why would it do that? I guess because I still have, yeah. Okay, so I go and play Agi. She's like, oh, I didn't remember that 3-letter word. She needs to learn her 3-letter words. I don't even know what this is now suggesting, but she plays cells. And I didn't record the end of the game, but I think I remember how it went. And then I didn't know Patera, so I think I did lap 10. And then Mum went probably there. Yeah, she probably went there. Let's assume for the purpose of the story she went there. So I went and won the game by 50 points, even though at the point I was stuck with an unplayable J. So even though the bag wasn't yet empty, you know, my mum had a bonus. That was for certain. She had a bonus, and it was about how am I going to block and how am I going to set up my unplayable letter. And usually you're not faced with those kinds of board positions where you're like, you're not usually 40 points ahead with an unblockable letter and a bonus opportunity for your opponent, but the games with my mum always bring up this kind of board scenario where you've always got some kind of weird end game thing going on because we're always really, really close when we play. But this game also shows you how important it is to consider what kind of letters work well on the board and why you shouldn't just look to get rid of the highest scoring tiles on your rack at the earliest opportunity, because even something as terrible as a G actually really came in useful here. So hopefully you guys will learn something from this game, because I intended to do this weeks ago and it didn't quite happen. Let me know if you liked this. I will try and make more. I do have another game saved on my phone that I would like to maybe go through at some point, but I'm usually really tired, so I don't really have time for videos, but maybe next time. And then I'll see you guys whenever my maybe next stream is.